The art of living, to the hunter-gatherers, lies in how we practice relationship, beginning with ourselves, because practicing relationship is all we do. Today we focus on projecting our personal and social, environmental fears and problems to scapegoats outside of ourselves. It's always somebody else's fault. And then to feel in control of life, we vigorously pursue acquisition and ownership of everything, except personal responsibility and accountability. Leisure is affording the necessary amount of time to fully engage each thought we have, each decision we make, each task we perform, and each person with whom we converse in order to fulfill the relationship's total capacity for a quality experience. Do we do this today? I see friends walking downtown and somebody's cell phone rings and the friend's forgotten. Suddenly, they're on the phone. I refuse to get call waiting. If it's important, they can call me back. I'm engaged with somebody and they deserve my attention. But most of the people they would say, oh, just a minute, there's a call coming in, can I put you on hold? How does it feel to be put on hold? Do you know that they heard anything you said? How many times do you get a machine and there's no way to get a person? I tried to get to our State Department in Oregon, and you can't get anybody. They don't want to talk to you, so it's one machine after another. And their comeback is, well, if you don't like any of these options, push one and we'll give them to you again. Today, technology is replacing the human face in our efforts to engage one another while simultaneously doing more and more, faster and faster, with less and less time given to each endeavor, because time is running out, and after all, time is money. Fully informed people not only can be a functional society, but also can look out for one another's well-being. Which brings to mind an observation made by English philosopher R.G. Collingwood, namely, information is merely soulless body of knowledge without questioning, which means that genuine understanding can be achieved only by active participation in the process of inquiry that engages the whole person and the whole group with dignity. We don't do that today. How many of us today in our fractured society, which has secrets and competition, really deal with communities? Do we take the time to spend a month if it's necessary to let the communities, people get their feelings out? If you have somebody, all of you have had somebody die, or a pet die, or a friend, and it's a done deal. The healing begins, even if it's excruciating, it takes time. But for the environment and the changes we see, when does healing start? When we don't listen to one another? When does healing start? When the administration says, here are the 3 choices, now I want you to put your doc by the one you like the best, but I don't have time to listen to you. Our grieving is continuous for change over which we feel we have no control. And everybody is stuck until they know they've been heard. I was once on a TV program dealing with old forests, and a woman kept trying to say something, and the moderator kept cutting her off. So when it was over, just in open space, she said what she felt. That poor lady was not being heard. She was stuck because the moderator dismissed her because she was old, she was in a wheelchair, her days were past. What difference does it make? I called him on it afterwards, and it didn't make any sense to him. She just didn't exist. But we cannot move forward until we know we've been heard. Because we are truly alone in the world. You're alone with every thought because you cannot give the feeling to another person. You're alone with every emotion because you cannot give the feeling. They can't feel what you feel. So we use language. But language are only metaphors. We talk around everything. And you think you understand how I feel? You have to translate what I think I'm saying and you translate it into your experience. Communication between husband and wife. My wife and I have been practicing it for 26 years. It's still not perfect. So how do we expect nations to have perfect communication? We have to learn to listen to one another. And that's what working with communities is. If we're going to have sustainability, it will never come from the top down. It's got to go from the bottom up. People have to know that you care. They have to feel heard. And they have to have permission to discuss their feelings without fear or ridicule. Men and women. Men have to learn how to cry and be allowed to in public, because we're taught that it's unmanly to cry. I was always told if I cried I was a sissy. Well, we've got to get over that. We've got to grow up somehow. And growing up means listening to and feeling that little child inside is still frightened and still looking for safety, for permission to feel.